Hey guys, this is Just a Tip podcast, and we're grateful to have you guys back. To my left, we have Des, Ricky, and let's get on with this episode, shall we?
I really wish you would have recorded that.
No, it is recorded.
Oh, it is recording?
Everything's recorded right now.
That's going to be great. Yeah, that's going to be good. That's going to be good.
We have bloopers that we play before the actual episode.
That's going to be good. Thank you, FREEFALL. Thanks, Free.
Just a Tip DJ podcast with your boy DJ Des, my co-host DJ Netix, and DJ Ricky Rico.
What's going on, yo?
What's going on, fellas? How was your weekend? It's been a few weeks since I've seen you guys.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. Staying busy. You know, peak season events in Florida. It's getting a little hot, so slows down a little bit. But, you know, good time to hang out with you guys.
Rainy season is out. Some events, you know, some daytime events, outdoor events, and it's rainy season. But overall, staying busy.
Chilling.
Business moving.
Good.
Everything's great.
That's good. Well, I got to DJ the Halsey concert, which was pretty cool.
Nice.
Dope.
So
how's that?
It was good, other than my computer overheating because they had me outside.
Oh.
So it's been one of those days. But I ended out the night with like 10 extra followers, which was cool.
That's good.
Okay. Yeah.
You know, because it was nighttime, I was able to just, you know, bang out the last hour, which was great. But the concert was amazing. She did a great job. First time ever seeing her in person. So I thought she did a great job.
Did you get to meet her?
Did not get to meet her, which was perfectly fine because I had too much stuff going on right now at that time.
True.
So, but it's all good. But we do have a special guest for this episode.
Yeah.
We have the legendary, the one and only, DJ FREEFALL. He's a veteran DJ, multimedia artist based in Orlando with a career spanning over 28 years. He is the founder and CEO of DJ FREEFALL LLC, established in 1996, and has been a prominent figure in the Central Florida music and nightlife scene ever since. He's best known for his dynamic DJ sets. He's performed at various venues across Central Florida. A few to name is Vine's Grill and Wine Bar, and has also made his debut at Mama Fufu. Recently, Memorial Day Sunday Crawl after party at the Palm Tree Club. Beyond DJing, FREEFALL is involved with multimedia production through Futurescape Media, which he owns, focusing on 3D augmented reality, AI, aerial videography. His creative endeavors extend to the platforms like Apple Music, Spotify, where he shares his musical projects. So everybody, give it up for DJ FREEFALL.
Oh, thank you for having me. This is a great bio, by the way. Where'd you get that?
ChatGPT. Because we had a conversation about it.
I have to train my large language model to maybe omit some of those gigs and I have to yell at my ChatGPT bot.
I don't know what a Mama Fufu is.
So Mama Fufu that was a one-off that I did in Daytona Beach. It's a cool little venue that's out there.
Oh, yeah, I know about the spot. It's fun.
Yeah. I mean, I would have mentioned other notable performances like NFL
mention.
Players Association, Comic-Con, BookCon, NBA All-Star Game, tour in China, but it mentioned, what was it, Vine's Grill?
Vine's Grill.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, like, hey,
premiere.
I played there one time. I was actually for Nora for New Year's Eve.
Gotcha.
So that's cool.
Hey,
I am at Vine's Grill, though. I'm just kidding.
You've been to Puerto Rico multiple times.
There's much more. I mean, as long as I've known.
ChatGPT needs to get a little smack.
I'm gonna
just omitting all the parties that
when
you
I get back home.
pioneered in Central Florida.
Go to sleep.
Pour some water on that.
ChatGPT literally just took like the surface level of what you've done.
Yeah.
Seriously.
No,
and said,
cool.
"This sounds cool. I'm hungry."
It's I'm grateful to be here. Thank you for having me.
Of course, thank you for
joining
being here.
us.
Well, Free, we've been trying to get you on the show for a while now, and we finally got you here. So one thing that I personally love about what you've been doing lately,
Yes, sir.
is how you have excelled yourself, not from DJing. And I mean, obviously, I respect you as a DJ
Sure.
At the utmost level. I think my first Tuesday I ever played downtown was for your party, actually.
Yeah.
And
Genetics as well.
yeah. And so obviously the respect, it goes beyond levels. But now that respect continues because you're doing a little bit more than DJing now.
Sure.
Which ChatGPT did not omit that little bit. You know,
Which is a big bit.
which is a big bit, right? So talk to us a little bit about, you know, we know about your DJ accolades, but
Sure.
you've got some new stuff that you're working on.
I mean, aside from the DJing, I have the producer and audio engineering mentoring that I do with people of Central Florida and all over the world, you know, via Zoom or whatnot. I also own a multimedia company We specialize in cinematic aerials and augmented reality, 3D modeling. I'm very grateful for all the ways that I've been able to learn and serve people outside of DJing.
So, do you just wake up and learn how to do that stuff? Like, that's crazy. You talking about augmented reality, AI.
It's everything has been kind of just out of necessity. So, like, the augmented reality came out of, I was trying to explain difficult audio concepts to people. Like, oh, hey, this is how mid-stereo processing works in audio engineering or in a DAW, like an Ableton or whatnot. You try to explain something like a waveform without actually seeing it in real life, or like at least having like a visualization. It's very hard. So I started learning how to model these waveforms and these images using Shaper 3D, and I was able to make them into a hologram and show people, okay, well, this is what mid-stereo side processing looks like when you look at it in a visual sense. It makes more sense. So that kind of came as a necessity of that. Eventually, when I had some friends, some colleagues like Al at Modern Console, he was drawing his DJ booths on paper, pen and paper, and bringing it to his CNC guy. I was able to link with him and help him learn how to use Shaper 3D, and that helped develop his workflow into a lot faster than just drawing on pen and paper. And now the DJ booths, I mean, when I was brand ambassador for Modern Console, the day that we released, I think it was the Neo 2, I just literally drew it on Shaper 3D and created the hologram, and we posted a hologram video, and that day we got 5 pre-orders for something that wasn't even made. It was just drawn. It was just sight unseen. And I was like, great, I got 5 deposits, for how are we going to build this?
I think that's pretty dope. On the surface level of things, and I think, fellas, you can agree as well, because all of us do a little bit more than just DJ, right? So on the surface level, the average person looks at a DJ, you go up, you play your set, you party, right? We're party animals, but everybody has their depiction of what a DJ is in today's society, right?
Sure.
But what they don't see is beyond the DJ, right? And so how important, and this goes to all of you guys, right? How important do you think it is, especially DJs at our age, right? Getting higher in age, you guys have families, whatever the case is, like we're living regular lives, even though they think DJs don't, right? How important do you guys think it is to have maybe a side hustle, or maybe have something like what FREEFALL just talked about, 3D modeling, animations, AIs? Like, how important do you think as the young DJ gets older, is it to plan to go beyond just DJing?
Well, I mean, for me, I thought that my plan was going to be the DJ plug. With having 2 stores that are now closed, things have changed a little bit. I think traveling is on my horizon because I haven't really been able to travel as much as I wanted to and see the world in a different lens. But I mean, it is important to have multiple streams of income as well. Doesn't matter if you want to open up a hot dog cart on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and you DJ Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Making your money is making your money. You got to make, the gigs are very scarce right now, and the pay is very low right now. And when we can get a client to pay us at the rate that we want, it's a blessing.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, especially in smaller markets, like we're in Orlando, right? So we're not Vegas, we're not Miami, we're not New York City, where the going rates may be a little bit higher, right? Even though those are usually premier gigs that aren't just got right away. But basically, like when you first started DJ Plug, right, your mentality was what? Like, what prompted you, like, all right, yeah, I'm DJing a lot right now. I'm doing a lot of DJing, but why do I want to open up the DJ Plug? Like, why is that important?
I mean, for me, when I opened up the Plug, it was one of those things that Florida doesn't have a DJ store. They just have music stores that sell DJ equipment. And I used to work for one of those companies. The way that they structured themselves, I felt like they weren't there for the DJ culture. And as the EDM rises, more and more they gear toward those style of DJs compared to the turntablists, compared to the mobile DJs, club DJs. They are really trying to, their focus is, let's sell to these kids that want to be on festival stages.
Right.
Even though they might not ever be.
That's what they're targeting.
That's their demographic target. Mm-hmm. But when you think about the earlier 2000s, target demographic were battle DJs, club DJs, for
a lot of
those particular
competition
music
DJs.
stores.
Yep.
There is a particular music store that is online that I coincide with sometimes, and they're called NLFX. They're based out of Minnesota, and those guys are really good because their main focus are helping out the wedding DJs, the private event guys.
Yeah.
So they're selling the Evolves, they're selling
all the mobile DJ gear.
all the mobile DJ gear compared to most. But then they also, the owner, Ben Stowe, and hopefully if we can get to DJX, all three of us, we can interview some people at DJX. Ben is also a rigger. So he does a lot of tours. So he is their audio guy and all that stuff like that outside of just NLFX. That's another thing. It's like you can, I even thought about possibly touring. And, and I said it to myself. I said, if I was able to tour, that might turn into me being like, oh, well, the DJ sucks. Let me just, put me in for the,
Let me handle that.
Let me handle, handle the job while it's supposed to be,
Free, what is older FREEFALL going to tell younger FREEFALL, right? If you met younger FREEFALL back then.
That's a good question.
Right? What is FREEFALL now telling younger FREEFALL now that you're in this state of having multiple sources of income and multiple skills, right? Beyond just jumping behind the decks and playing some music.
First thing I would say is release music early and don't try to focus on perfection. I say the most important thing is I would be more accountable with my time. 1,000%.
Ooh, yeah.
Like a major one
That's
that
a good one.
I mean, I stopped drinking like 9 years ago, but before that, there were so many times that I would leave the nightclub. And I credit DJ Digital Dave for this. Shouts out to Digital Dave, Club Killers. I played in Pittsburgh for him one time, and I remember him driving me home that day, and he was like, oh, like, how was your set? And I was like, yeah, it was great. And he was like, what song had the biggest reactions? What song didn't? And I'm like, who cares? It was lit.
Young FREEFALL right there.
But in retrospect, I mean, so like now that's like one of my, since I don't drink anymore, I don't turn up. I go home and I'm going over like what I did to be accountable for the set. So yeah, I mean, managing your time and writing down your goals would be a major one.
Young DJs, pay attention. Because
sure.
that's real talk right there.
Yeah.
Netix, you also, we've talked about this a little bit on the podcast. People already know that you also are kind of in the media game as well. I won't dabble too much into it because we have talked about your past on other episodes. In your mind, you kind of started one way and then jumped into from what I remember, you were actually focused on media at first and then got into DJ.
Yeah,
right?
well, I went to school for digital media. So going to school for digital media, then slowly I was able to kind of combine everything as far as with entertainment and DJing and everything else. And I was handling a lot of my own personal branding stuff instead of reaching out and hiring somebody to do my branding. I would be handling all of that. And as I was learning to do that for myself, it also became a side business to do it provide that service for other clients, other venues, other people, other DJs, any type of business. So, and back to the original question, which was how do you diversify from just music and DJing? Find what you love, but also find what you can monetize from. If you enjoy or you know or have a specific skill, or you get intrigued by a specific skill, for any different reasons, for example, FREEFALL UX, because I remember when you first showed me the compression and the different graphs and the waves and everything as far as the augmented reality and all the different projects that you were working on, I was shocked because it's hey, people, this is just starting.
This is real stuff, yeah.
Yeah, and you're already at a point that you're showing me this is what can be done. Not just this is what I can do, but this can be done, and imagine how big this can be. So finding a passion for something, obviously learning the skill, and then finding a way of continuing growing that. The money and the monetization of that service, being of service with those skills is what's going to lead you on to the next levels, the next steps, and open up different opportunities in so many different realms. So, because I'm sure when you started DJing, what led you to music production? Because you explained as far as what led you to the media, augmented reality.
Sure. For the music production, is just wanted to play unique edits. Honestly, I just wanted to play music that wasn't being played by anybody else. I think I started learning initially, on my first DAW was acid. I mean, I remember way back in the days doing taking the Phil Collins Tarzan soundtrack and putting some Uncle Luke and
Mash it up,
friends were
man.
like,
That's crazier than Dez's mash
Yeah,
up.
they're like, this guy is crazy. But, so this question was posed recently. I was around a group of DJs that were already kind of in that mindset when we started the Blue Martini Mondays. It was Nova, A-Rock, Digital.
It's funny you mentioned that because I was going to go into like, okay, let's say as your whole life you've known nothing but DJing like most of us did in the beginning. And then we're kind of like scared or nervous to make that jump towards learning something new. When you were doing that, were you at a battle with yourself as far as now I have to sacrifice time away from DJing so I can learn how to model?
I mean, it's just one of those things you just have to learn. Like, I got really comfortable using Acid Pro, and then I found out that you can do all these incredible things with Ableton Live. And it was like, well, if I want to make incredible mashups and edits and production, this is something that I have to do. It is a discipline. It does take time away from certain things, but if you have that time management aspect there and you're accountable for your time, you can always make time.
Yeah, see that right there? Did you ever envision yourself doing something like that, like 10, 15 years ago? Young FREEFALL.
No, actually not at all. I went through a phase where I was working like 40, 45 gigs a month here in Orlando. And you can ask Netix. You probably know.
Yep.
Double, triple booked. And I was like, like this is great, but everything just got really repetitive and boring. And it doesn't matter how great it is, even if it's the number one spot and it's popping, if it's always the same shit, it's like there needs to be something else. But yeah, I wouldn't have until I started like reading and doing self-development and just realizing that we can accomplish anything if we just put our mind and our time to it. There isn't any roadblock. There isn't any Harry Potter shit about anything that anybody does. Like, it's just actually, if you devote the time to learning something, you will learn it. Yeah. But if you make excuses for yourself to not be able to do it, then it's never going to happen.
Again, young DJs, listen to the cast, pay attention, because that's as real as it gets right there.
I think he's just giving away like life advice.
Yes. Yeah, well, in general, in general. But there's probably a lot of young DJs who are watching this show and they're stuck in that moment right now. They're stuck in the moment that Free just talked about. Like, I'm DJing 5 nights a week right now at some of the best places in town. This is life. But we get older, right? We get to a certain age and it kind of like, just happens, right? Like, man.
Yeah, well, so like I've heard a phrase before, and I don't say this like in a condescending way toward people, but like people that say like I'm the best DJ in my city is like saying I'm the smartest person on the short bus. So, and that's that's no
straight
slander,
to the point.
No slander implied. It's just it's you when you have that mentality, you kind of limit yourself and your reach.
Well, there's a few people that we know that.
And I feel like you should absolutely never ever limit your imagination or what you could potentially do, because it's all there for the picking. It's just a matter of, again, devoting the time.
Taking the action.
Put in the work, baby. Put in the work. Simple as that. Right. Well, there you go, guys. Not only did you, literally a tip, that was like a whole section of tips right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? FREEFALL charges for that stuff, by the way, guys. So y'all just got that free subscription today.
Hey.
Dez, let's go ahead and move on to our tech talk for the day. This is something pretty cool, actually. And we've got 2 really heavy CDJ guys in the building. We all play on CDJs, but go ahead, Dez. Let's talk about this real quick.
All right, well, the Density AI, what this is, it captures a device that captures the data of a DJ set, not the audio. Density connects to club standard DJ decks to capture a set rather than recording audio. Density captures the data, every cue point, every loop, and every knob twist. You can edit your set after in the Density app. When you're done capturing, you'll see the recreation of the entire set where you can non-destructively edit transitions. Density is designed from the ground up for DJ mixes, making the workflow more intuitive. What it seems like to me is it basically captures all the data and forms it like a Ableton Live setup. And you have all the waveforms. You can, once you're finishing, I guess in my sense of, if you messed up a transition, you can edit it after
to fix it.
To fix it.
Oh man.
So,
But what does that? You have to go back and do that afterwards, or AI program is doing that?
No, you do it afterwards.
You know what it reminds me of? Do you remember? I know now they have Ableton and Bridge for Splice, but do you remember when Ableton had the Bridge and you were able to connect it with Scratch Live?
I mean they still do.
You still
have it?
You still have it?
I mean you can link it to any device that's got
like Ableton Link, right?
That's got an internal clock, like a MIDI clock.
Okay.
What he's saying is basically like if you're recording an Ableton live set and you hit A to turn on like an automation parameter, and then it just records every automation parameter within your DJ set.
Yes.
And then it's exported as an editable file that you can import into live with the automation of your knobs. It's pretty dope.
Yeah. No,
it's a great idea.
It came up. I was like, that's dope. It's a small little device.
It's tiny, right? So you just plug it in while you're mixing with the CDJs.
Yeah, what it says,
everything.
You connect it to the Ethernet switch, and it's good to go. Never lose to set to record errors again. It goes from the CDJs, the out of the CDJ. So basically, you would get a switcher. So most CDJs, you can only do one CDJ to the other, or you do a gigaport. So
to set up multiple.
Just to set up multiples.
Yeah.
So if you have a gigaport, so if there are, let's just say this one, if the mixer has one and there's 4 CDJs, that's 5. You at least need about 7 or 8, because some DJs use like the DJ S1000.
Right, the
sampler.
Right.
So you would have to plug that into the Ethernet, and then what it seems like it also plugs into the USB of the mixer too. So one of the USB, either USB A or USB B on the mixer.
What if you don't have multiple ports on the mixer then?
No. So the A9 and the V10 both have 2 inputs.
Only certain mixers have that.
Or the Nexus 900, the 900 Nexus 2 has 2.
So would this work if you have an older mixer that only has 1 port?
Yes, if you're not using Serato.
Oh, okay. So if you're direct right off drives.
This is specifically made for DJs that use thumb drives.
Right. Not for Scratch, Serato.
That's what I was getting at. Like, yes. So this is more so for, because I know there's probably going to be guys who are Serato guys who be like, oh, well, does this work with Serato too?
Well, did we talk about the L Acoustics thing last time?
I don't know. I can't remember.
Well, L Acoustics is creating a similar thing, but for stems. So what their device is kind of like the same thing.
You're able to stem off the CDJ?
You can stem off the device, not off the CDJ.
Interesting.
So it's called L Acoustics DJ. It's basically something that they created for the club DJs. And let me scroll down real quick. The L Acoustic DJ is the only solution that transforms any stereo set into a fully immersed sound performance live and without changing the DJ's workflow, powered by machine learning stem separation and the industry's leading spatial audio engine. It unlocks new dimensions of performance, crowd impact, and club prestige. So basically, this one device will be plugged in, and you're able to create a stem on the fly from a CDJ.
So is this AI powered too, or is this like strictly hardware powered?
It's a hardware device. It is a hardware device. The way that they are doing it, the L Acoustic DJ seamlessly integrates with the existing DJ tools workflow. Simply connect the output of the DJ mixer to the processor, and the system instantly transforms stereo audio into an immersed spatial experience without requiring any DJs to change setup or performance.
All right, so
that's a mouthful.
Yeah, so Free, what's your thoughts on this? Because
I would have to look at the website. I mean, I have to see how it all sets up, and
because what they're saying is there's a controller and there's an app, which will allow you to control the.
So there's stems available now with Rekordbox. You just have to use a computer,
right?
But like a standalone, I presumably, I would assume that the next generation of CDJ, like a 4000, would probably have some type of stem integration
onto the CDJ.
It'll probably be like $4,000, but I can see that happening.
Yeah, well, it's already happening. So InMusic, who owns Denon, has already started that. So they
are the Denon players.
Yeah, so on the actual Denon.
On the
SE 6000s and the Denon Prime 4 Plus. So anything that has a plus in it will now be able to use stems
built into the machine.
Wow. So you can do it live, or to save yourself time, you put the songs you want to have stems already. Like I had a question on Reddit the other day because a guy asked the same problem. He has a problem with Serato, and it really isn't it's a Serato problem. It's a computer problem, and a lot of people don't understand. This guy's like, oh, I have 50,000 songs, and I only want 41,000 of them to be able to stem, and I want them all in this one folder. And he literally just dragged all 41,000 songs into the stem folder. And it crashed out. And he's like, why did it crash out? And I'm like,
41.
Because you just did 41,000 songs. You can't do that. Like you have to give your computer time. It's like if you copy their hard drive right now.
How many songs is too many songs?
For stems?
Overall.
Just in general?
I mean, there are DJs like myself that like I
don't know, man.
I remember like we met a long time ago. I've known all of you guys for the 9 years that I've been living here. But then I think was it pre-pandemic or I think it's probably pre-pandemic. You had your whole like how to delete duplicates and organize, and it was such a great idea. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, well, what if I like 6 different remixes and I don't play the same remix every single time? And then like Matt Dodge is like, oh, well, this is what I do. If I like the remix, I take out, if it's your remix, he takes your name off of it and just so he knows that's the remix he's going to play every single time, which is fine for him.
And then you're deleting all the other remixes?
He deletes all the other remixes. So whatever. So he's condensing his library right now. So, and he literally does it he changes every single metadata for every single song.
I do the same thing.
Okay. Yeah, I cannot do that. My brain doesn't fathom.
I mean, so yeah, one of the other services that I have is the Crate Manager, and that's a library organization service for DJs.
Can I just give you my computer and you just do it for me?
Yeah, let's go.
Keyword, that's another service.
Pay attention.
There's already services that kind of do that, but like recently I've been created a large language model with ChatGPT, exported my XML from Rekordbox, put it into there and have it go through my music. I have one that's just for the years and the key of songs. So it's only, here, let me see if I can find it here.
So you're asking ChatGPT because
this is actually, no, it's not like a regular, like a GPT bot, like it's your own model that you create. So like I have one that's for Rekordbox.
Next level.
And then
next level.
One that's okay, for this one, I just need you to find the original song release year, the BPM and tempo and the key of songs, and I need you to triple check, because I was getting, I would say when did 24 karat Bruno Mars come out? Oh, it came out in 1967. I'm like, bitch, there's no way. So I'm like more water.
Yeah, it's just getting water.
Well, that's the thing.
He's just getting waterlogged the whole day today, bro. ChatGPT is getting all the smoke from free.
Well, like last night, because you had commented about it, because like last night or the other night, I had to do a 90s event. And now I'm going through and I'm typing. Now you could just type in 1999. You could type in 1998. You could type in whatever. But then I'm like, there are songs in here that don't even have years.
Yeah.
And there are apps out there that do it, but they're not just as good.
No, so what they do is that they might do like the compilation album that came out after, or like the re-release, like Journey. Instead of it being like 70s or 80s, it might say like 1999 or 2014.
Okay.
And you're like, oh, I know that this song didn't come out in 2014, but it's like a compilation album or a re-release, or like a Now That's What I Call Music version of that song. Shouts to DJ A Styles, because before ChatGPT came out, he was my human ChatGPT. Probably like a month long, I had him as an assistant helping me, and we Googled every song one by one, getting all this information. But then when
hundreds of thousands, before? This is after you organized everything.
Yeah.
Right?
So I mean, like I have 10,000 songs in my library, and that's it.
Just 10,000.
So if one goes in, one goes out. Like I'm not trying to. I'm like, oh hey, I have the Slovakia Lambada to play. Sorry, dude, I don't have that, brother.
Sorry, man, I can't help you with that.
Well, okay, so that's another thing. You play on CDJs and a hard drive.
Mm-hmm. Well, USB,
USB.
Yeah.
But it's still a hard drive. Yeah. You're using the hard drive as a thumb drive for your storage of your music.
Yeah, for open format.
So even for open format, which is crazy, because like I had a few DJs ask me, they're like, oh, most record box DJs only use this for EDM. And I said, no.
As, what is it, USB delusion? Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I would love for anyone to come see me play on USB and give me their opinion and their critique of my USB delusion.
Yeah, because you're using USB in S11.
It's a different deductive reasoning to get to the music. So like if you're coming from Serato, it's a mind fuck to get your mind around how you can curate your songs so that they're easier to find. But once you get around that, like if you start from that platform, even if it doesn't matter if you do open format or anything, there's so many other features with Rekordbox like the linking. So if I play song A, I want you to show me 10 songs that I have already automatically picked that are like perfect fits as outs. And I started doing that like 5 or 6 years ago. And now my entire library is like that. So it's just like, I don't have playlists per se where it's like, oh, I know I'm going to play the bangers, because it's just like everything's always by vibe. So it's just kind of like...
You don't have a bangers folder?
I actually don't have a bangers folder. That's one of the things I perceivably I might lack is like, oh, well, you didn't play John Summit Where You Are, because I played a lot of other shit.
It's not in my bangers folder because it doesn't exist.
I mean, you know what I mean, but like that's one of the really powerful tools about Rekordbox and the USB thing that I really admire.
It's similar to like you being able to have like your prepare folder for each individual song, but it's not just upload and delete or disappear. Actually, like that prepare folder for that song stays.
Right, the prepare folder for that song stays with that one song.
Yeah,
and then when you do like 4,000 or 5,000 songs, then you don't need a playlist because it just flows. But it is work. Like you have to do the work.
Yeah,
it's
I was
not
gonna
like
say.
there isn't like oh look, this is gonna give me all the songs. They're like, no, like you have to know the music, you have to know the culture, you also have to know the crowd. But if you have all these things together and you put these all, I mean, eventually I'm sure somebody's gonna come out with some type of AI model.
No, I mean, you literally like touched right up on it, because, you know, back to like the Density AI recording, it's just a tool for CDJs,
Sure.
all these AI tools that are slowly leaking out for each platform of DJing, whether it's Serato, whether it's Rekordbox, Virtual DJ, whatever. You know, do you think that the AI is going to become more implemented and basically take away from what, like, for example, all this work that you've done, right? All those hours that you put in to get to that point on your USB sticks.
I mean, sure, yeah. I mean, because like what I'm doing in theory is like Flintstone shit. I went to one venue and they were just doing really good slow jams. And I'm like, yo, this guy's like hitting it out of the park with these slow jams. This isn't a slander, but I just walk up to the booth and then I see, I'm like, whoa, there's Spotify open with like top 20 slow jams. Like, okay. And so the thing is like, so in curation, you would do that, one would do that, right? Like if you're at home, you're like, okay, well, you know, especially somebody that's not growing up listening to that. Like, how am I going to know what were the top 10 70s R&B jams? Like I was like 4 or 5. So that has to be done. Now everything is being done in real time.
Yeah. And once again, FREEFALL nails it on the coffin for our next topic as we go ahead and discuss, which I'll go ahead and let FREEFALL keep going because he already kind of slid into it. But the DJ profession now, right? You just brought it up. Spotify, top 20 slow jams, right? And that, you know, again, not ragging on any DJs or anybody in general, but basically the profession of a DJ right now is becoming more of a trend rather than a skill set. So like, for example, I've got 2 friends of mine. One is a physical therapy assistant, successful day job, right? Making good money. Cops say flex 4, and I'm wondering why. Like, why do you, well, DJing looks cool. All the DJs look cool. So I just got one because it's cool, right? Another friend of mine, IT manager, making big bank. You know what I'm saying? Married, full-blown job, house, all that good stuff. Cops the deck. Hey, man. Cop, I think it was like an SB, you know, if I remember. And again, I asked the question, why did you cop the board? It's just to like put in my backyard, you know what I'm saying? It's cool, you know, for parties and stuff like that. So I'm looking at this now. This is happening more and more, right? Right now, this is becoming, if we're talking like food trends, right? Y'all remember when like frozen yogurt was everywhere? Everywhere. You look left, look right. There's frozen yogurt parlors everywhere. Where are the froyo parlors now? They're dead, gone.
They're cookie places now.
Yeah, they're cookie or cupcake or donut places, right? Trends is what I'm trying to say. Right now, it seems that the average Joe, right, the average person, just goes to the pawn shop now, picks up a board because DJing has become now like a trend. Like, oh, check me out. I just got the Flex 4, you know, and they send it to their friends like, oh, my friend's a DJ.
Check this out. I just recently saw a post that the Colombian ex-president, he was the president between like 2018 or 2022. And he was at a party and like went viral like in Colombia and South America and different places on social media. He was just, it's not that he had a career DJing or anything, but he was performing at a party with his CDJs, his controller, and playing tunes. An ex-president from Colombia.
Didn't the Pope have a DJ? Was that an AI video? That was for real.
I think that's that guy. Is that the priest DJ? I think that's the priest DJ.
Yeah.
That guy's going viral right now.
So like in regard to your answer or your question, you know, technology is changing so much now and it's evolving so quickly that it's just making the playing field even for a lot of different circumstances. The same could be said for graphic designers. Mm-hmm. There was work that I would have never in a million years taken 5 years ago as a graphic designer that like, it's like, hey, can you do this? I'm like, ChatGPT, can you do this? It's like, yep. Like, yes, sir, I can do it for you. That'll be $500.
Mm-hmm. Jeez.
And the thing is, like in all reality, it's just it is leveling the playing field. So I think for DJs, it's going to be the human touch that separates more like human authentic connections, real engagement with people. You know, your fans hitting you up like, hey, dude, you played a great set, and not putting like a fire emoji or a heart and saying like, hey, Brandon, hey, David, thank you for coming. Because it's just like everything's getting so oversat, bro. Like you, I mean, you can't even go into McDonald's without seeing some dude like, here we are at McDonald's and we're trying the 99-cent.
Everybody.
It's pop culture.
And so like that's just everybody. And it, like the technology is becoming more and more affordable.
And here's the thing, and I don't mean to cut you off.
Yeah, no, you're good.
I think what it really comes down to is once someone else sees you do it, they want to do it. They either want to try it or they think they can do it better. A lot of people don't understand the cost of DJ equipment. They think, oh, your board or whatever, you know, like you have the Rev 7, you have an RX3 and a 1000 SRT. He has two CDJs and an S11. I have a 707M. They don't realize that those cost hundreds of dollars to even thousands of dollars. Yep. That's not including the computer.
Yep.
I'll get calls, hey, or I'll see on Reddit or on Facebook or whatever, hey, what kind of computer you should get? Okay. If you go on to Recordbox's website, if you go on Serato's website, if you go on Algorithm DJ's website, it tells you the minimum specs. Don't do minimum.
And the recommended specs.
Don't even do recommended. Do 16 gigs minimum of RAM. Do 1 terabyte of hard drive space.
Yeah, but they want to call you and complain afterwards, like, my laptop isn't working with this board.
Bro, I had a guy.
I just imported 50,000 songs in the stems. What's going on?
You know, that's the thing. Like, I had a guy, I even said it because he said, well, and I told him, I said, hey man, I have 64 gigs of RAM. I have 8 terabyte, and I don't need it, but I bought it because it was a good deal. But my whole thing is, I know that if I have stems on and I can have it just load every single time I play a song, it's doing it in the background. I don't need it to automatically have it already done with stems because I'm not playing the 2 terabytes full of music. I'm only playing the exact songs I'm going to be playing every time I play out. And and that's why I was like, hey, give me your phone number so I can call you so I can explain this to you. Because you're forcing, a computer is a machine. It's only going to do what it tells you to do. And I try to tell people, don't poke the bear.
Did he understand that, though? That's the question.
Oh, we haven't had our conversation yet.
Oh, well, see, that's what I'm saying. And see, when they go to the pawn shop and they buy their $80 controller and they get all excited about that $80 controller and they're like, all right, I got the controller. That's it. That's all I need.
What
like,
now?
Yeah. And then you get the text. You get the text like, so what do I do now?
Well, you come see me for DJ lessons.
Yeah, go see Des for DJ lessons.
Like,
But they don't even want lessons. That's the thing. They don't even want lessons. To me, the whole topic in itself is that
it's a title.
It's a title. It's becoming a clout thing. I got this board. I'm a DJ. No, you're not. You're not a DJ. And that's what my friend's like. Oh, I'm DJing now. You're not. This isn't your You didn't buy, it's right now, it's like people are just buying them to look cool. People are saying that they DJ, I'm putting in quotes, right? To look cool. And they'll post pictures and then they'll post little wikis on their Instagram.
So what would determine and make them a DJ? Because let's say they get 10 songs and they are butt cheap board or whatever board. And let's say that they press play, lower the volume, press play, raise the volume, right? Technically speaking, they're not professional DJs because who knows if they're getting paid to do that, but they're DJing per se.
Okay.
Am I
They
wrong?
DJing or they playing music?
They're playing music, but that was my question. What's going to be the determining factor for them to be a DJ?
No, I mean, like
or not?
the technology is definitely leveling out the playing field.
Right.
So I mean, it's like to your argument, Rihi, I think that a few years from now, it won't even matter. It might just be based on selection, and they might just actually like start the song, but everything will be automated.
Man,
And it won't
it's
even
crazy.
be.
Well,
What makes them a DJ? What
And then
labels
at
them a
that point,
DJ?
it'll be back to what I said in reference to the human factor of it. Like, okay, well, who looks better? The woman that goes see Ricky or Netix or Freefall? We're definitely not going to see Freefall because he's ugly and old. But we'll go see it. It's just. But then it'll be like, okay, well, you got this hot chick that's at 11 that's got her 20 songs planned out that are gonna mix, and she's just gonna dance around in her thong bikini and make 100,000.
Yeah.
And everyone's gonna be happy.
Well, like for example, for this one, right? I don't mean to cut everybody off, but this is I meant to put this in the notes. Do y'all remember that song Friday
By Rebecca Black.
by Rebecca Black?
Yeah.
You know she's a DJ now, like Charlie XCX. And recently, she had a humiliating moment as she DJ'd to an empty room after the AMA's after party. I believe it was our buddy DeVille. So she was sandwiched
Shout out to
in between DeVille, who got everyone up off their feet when he returned to the booth after she rapped.
So DeVille was there.
DeVille was there. So when he comes back into town, we have to get him on the podcast.
Yeah, we got to get him on that.
So the video footage shows that Black performed to a near empty dance floor as guests mill around the edges, deep in conversation throughout her 40-minute set.
So the weird thing behind that is Rebecca Black, there's other videos of her DJing, right? And it's slammed, right? She even did a boiler room.
Yeah, but those are curated. Those people are going there for
her for that.
They're not going for her. They're going because of a party.
And those are productions. The DJs pay for them to bring in actors into this environment for like a boiler room setting. It's like when you go to the MTV VMAs or AMAs and they have like that front row of like 20 people in the front. And they're like, every actor that, or every, you're going to dance. It doesn't matter who it is. It's like fucking Marilyn Manson saying, I'm going to kill your mom and your... Like, that's basically what Boiler Room is and that type of business model in general. But he who controls the narrative controls that perception of reality, right?
Shoot.
Even with all the years of experience that I have, I still play for empty rooms. Sometimes it just happens, but I don't ever.
That's what I was gonna say.
I don't ever take that shit personal because I know that it is what it is. Like sometimes people are just
they're just there.
People are not there, or people don't care, or I mean, like even like a few weekends ago when we got rained out at PTC and we had to move. I mean, it's just things that you can't control. So
yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. I mean, I think FREEFALL is reading my mind, bro, because it's kind of weird. But yeah, I was gonna say the exact same thing. Is that she might have just been paid to actually do a gig. Like, hey, you're gonna go to the AMAs, DJ your set, and that's it. And then maybe DeVille caught the better end of it, or she was the opener. I don't know what time that was.
DeVille's dope though, man.
Yeah, but DeVille, obviously DeVille is a kick-ass DJ. So he's gonna bring He's an actual.
I think that's the difference between seasoned DJs that are in that tier of celebrities DJs, or compared to the celebrity DJs who are doing it because it's cool, like you're saying.
Right.
Like it's the
I'm
cool
a DJ
thing.
now.
It's a cool thing
now
to do
I'm a
now.
DJ. Yep,
you know, it's like Paris Hilton became a DJ.
Yeah.
You know, like Brody Jenner.
Yeah.
He was a DJ on TV in early 2004, 2005.
Chris Hogan, Hulk Hogan's son, all that stuff.
Yeah, I know. It's not Chris. It's Nick.
Nick Hogan. Nick.
I've done a few of his writers. Even, what's his name? That song, On the Way Down. Ryan Cabrera. He's a DJ.
That guy's a DJ?
He's a DJ too. I did his writer.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
I mean, so like, so for that argument, a lot of those guys are people that, before they were paid as just a celebrity appearance. Maybe their cap for a celebrity appearance is only $5,000, but as a DJ, they can make 25 or 50.
So they just
And
hop
so
on
they
it.
just get somebody to like record a mix for them, and then now they're getting $50,000 instead of a paid appearance. Now they're doing a DJ set.
Yeah.
Essentially, still doing the same thing, but
I mean, Shaquille O'Neal's getting like 25 to 30 grand.
Yeah, but
a
see,
show.
Shaq actually used to be a
So-
DJ, though.
No, I know, but I'm just saying he's
So I'll say this about Shaq. Shaquille O'Neal DJ'd at a hookah bar on Sand Lake. It's called Cleopatra's
Yeah, I
Hookah Bar.
remember that.
He was there for like a year and a half, maybe 2 years, every Friday night, low key. Didn't tell a soul. Nobody knew that. And he was there with his setup, practicing. And he was like there.
house music, or was it?
No,
He was just
no,
learning.
no.
learning, okay.
He was
He
just
was just-
learning.
yeah.
He was
Okay.
just learning. For him, I'll give him a pass.
Okay.
I've never met him. I wouldn't put my money up against Craze in a DJ battle or something like that.
Shaq versus Craze.
But I do give him props.
A celebrity
because
boxing
I know
match.
that it's not something, and I also feel like Shaq, as a business person and as a human, has always put his all of who he is into everything that he does.
Yeah, that's what he does say.
And that's
a
one of
lot.
the
He
things
does
that
love
like
doing-
that goes a long way with like time management and priority management.
Because he says the reason why he started DJing is because the energy that they give at festivals for him
Mm-hmm.
is like Game 5, Game 6
Yeah.
in
Yeah.
the NBA
Yeah.
Finals.
He just got a love for it.
And I was just like, oh, okay, I got you. I can see
Yeah,
that. I can see
sure.
that. You know, like he did it. You know, last year he did a show downtown over at Wall Street.
Yeah.
You know, they
He's
booked
got
him a
one
lot.
coming up in Tampa, too, I think.
It's
like
in West Palm Beach.
In West Palm. I'm sorry,
West Palm.
in Boca. That's what it is.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
He does
yeah.
his own little festival line.
Yeah,
He
yeah,
does, he's bass music, right? That's I think his
yeah.
found a love for like, dubstep bass music. I agree with Free that I remember the hookah store and I went to that same hookah lounge the day after, and they're like, "Oh yeah, Shaq was just here last night." And then there was a time where he went on NBA Live and was actually like scratching on
Yeah.
NBA Live.
He did. I think it was last year's NBA All-Star game. He DJ'd the day after, like some parts of it. I think the year before too. So
So some celebrity names can actually put effort into the passion of.
yeah, it's like Idris Elba.
Yeah, Idris is not a bad DJ.
He's phenomenal. Like
Yeah, he's not a bad DJ.
he's
He's a
hailing it,
producer,
dude.
yeah.
And he's also a producer. So
Yeah.
it's like there are celebrities that actually do really take
take it serious.
take it seriously and respect the
It's
craft.
just a mindset that they choose to adopt.
Yeah. Or that human, like FreeFall said, there's like that human element there that you could tell that they're actually
About
involved
their business.
About
Yeah.
it. Yep.
All right, well, fellas, let's wrap this up.
Yeah.
I appreciate your FreeFall for coming out.
Thank you
Give
for
everybody
having
your
me.
socials.
FreeFall.
Yeah,
Where you
just
can find you at.
DJ FreeFall on Instagram. My media company is futurescapemedia.com.
All right, perfect.
Give him a follow, fellas, ladies, everybody.
Like, comment, subscribe here. We're going to be posting all the episodes soon on the other podcasting websites.
We
I'm
promise.
Trying to break it all down. There's a
We
lot
promise.
of files. So, yeah, thank you guys always, and I'll see you guys in a few weeks.
Sir.
Peace.
Later, y'all.